Good afternoon everyone, and Healthtember gathers apace. The movement is underway and it's really starting to get going, and the party atmosphere you can start to touch, and that's fantastic. And there's only you folks that are to be credited for it, because at the end of the day it's you that makes up that movement and brings that energy. I want you to think at this stage though about what we've got to do for next week, because we're now at that halfway point and it's a critical point, and a bit of planning now in relation to diabetes will mean that next week you're also similarly well engaged and well planned with your teams. So remember, we had a great time early in the year with diabetes. We want to make sure that we build on that. So come on guys, let's do some planning. But there's something equally important I want to talk to you about, and it's this. At this stage, when you're in the middle of change and we're trying to do something like building a movement, there's always a danger that the teams start to get a bit weary. And it's critical that as leaders that we pay attention to that we pick it up. And our responsibility when it comes to that is that we get alongside these people and we help lift them up. We help those weary people get back in to the enthusiasm and the enjoyment of things. So watch out for those folks in your team. And I'm going to suggest also to you that there are 3 things that leaders do with their followers at that critical point. First of all, they recognise the great progress that's already been made, and don't forget it. We have made immense progress in 2 weeks. The place is buzzing and the change is, you can feel it. So I want you to just make sure that with your teams you revisit that great progress and make it really felt with the rest of your teams. But there's another thing that leaders do. Number 2 is that they personally revisit the reasons why this movement is important to them and worthwhile to be part of. And then when they've done that, they share it with others and they continue to go back to the why. Why are we doing it? The third thing that they do though is that they redouble their own personal effort and show by their own personal actions that we can do this. And they continually lead by example. So can I ask you to think about that as well? I'd also ask you to think about how you're going to continue to lead your followers. Instead of seeing momentum drop off just as we've reached that tipping point. Remember Dancing Man? If not, remember to have another look at it. Let's push that movement on and into the heady heights of the whole team and every one of our teams being at the party. And finally, one thought for you. Remember that the role of first followers, those who have been following you this past week and 2, is actually far more important in creating a movement than the role of a lone nutter. Now, I've been a bit of a lone nutter. Maybe you've been a bit of a lone nutter. But look around you today and see who is following. And let's make sure that we really value them and make them feel special. Thank you.